Welcome back into another episode of Red Zone Talk. I am Owen Burke, here for episode 12, joined alongside my good buddy, Tim Hunt. Tim, how you doing on this Wednesday?
Hanging in there, man. Hanging in the
Yeah,
best we can. This is
we're
like
getting there.
the fifth time we've done this intro. It feels like, I don't know.
Yeah,
We're
fourth or
losing
fifth. We've
count.
lost count.
We're losing count here. I keep losing internet randomly. We'll be
Yeah,
like 3 minutes in and it just loses internet. So,
yeah.
knock on wood that this is the lucky charm this time.
We thought third time was a charm, but we're hoping for the fourth here. So, trade deadline in the books. We have a lot of things to talk about. I also would like to get into some things that didn't happen. I think that's a fun scenario to go through every once in a while if we have time for it.
Yeah.
A lot of things to talk about. We did get a knee deep in trivia, but before we jump back into trivia from our first recorded attempt, you want to shout out our social medias for the
Yes,
third time?
Red Zone Talk Pod on YouTube, Red Zone Talk on Instagram. Hopefully the TikTok page gets fixed. We're hoping this week. If it does, it'll definitely be out on Instagram. So be on the lookout for our Instagram page to see what's going on with all of our socials. So
100%. Yes, I do plan on trying to get a link tree of all that stuff. Get it in my Twitter bio as well. So if you go to my Twitter, Owen_Burke, I'll have all the links you need there as well if Twitter's your main form of.
Can't remember if my link tree is up and working or not. I was having issues with it when it first came out. But okay, far as trivia goes, where we stand for the week is, or coming into this week, I was up 130 to your 120. With the new trivia rules, we were about halfway through on the first recording of trivia. You'd gotten the top 5 right. The question was all-time rushing leaders for quarterbacks. So he had gotten Michael Vick, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, which was the shocking one. That was kind of the sleeper. Randall Cunningham and Lamar Jackson. So he had the top 5. He had no strikes and
one strike.
One strike.
Remember Warren Moon?
Warren Moon. He guessed Warren Moon, strike. And he was way down at the bottom of the list, barely ahead of Jay Cutler, just because he didn't play long enough.
Should have taken my free strike there.
Yeah,
not said anything.
Not said anything. So he's at 1 strike, and I don't remember if you were in the middle of using a hint or thinking about using a hint.
Yeah, I was about to ask for one as we cut out the first time.
Okay.
Since I got my first strike, I'll take it here. Let's see.
Yeah, so we have got. So the first hint I'm going to give you is for a specific guy. You have one active player left.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily a guy you would think of as mobile.
Okay.
Not a runner, as mobile. And then I think it's
same breath as Russell Wilson. Not a runner, but mobile.
Not a runner, but mobile. And I think it's time that's kind of put him on this list. You have 2 guys that are like way pre-2000, like maybe
old.
Like older, crept into the 90s. Definitely one of them's way older than the 90s. And then the very last, the last 2 guys on this list, besides the active guy, would, like, a majority of their time is post 2000. One of them is like kind of like right on the middle line there. Okay. So that's my first hint for you. So see if that strikes. So you got 5 right, 1 strike.
Another guy, because I never. I'm gonna get Steve Young's got to be here, right?
Steve Young is like that 90s, 80s guy. He's number 6 actually.
Higher than I would have thought, honestly.
Yeah, he was one of those guys with Russell Wilson. I was kind of surprised to see him as high as he was. 4,239 yards here.
Yeah, he's one of those, like, when you watch his highlights, you would think that, like, he's a really, because a lot of it's like he's broke some long runs. He's had some historically long runs in his career too. Yeah. So, which you get so caught up in him replacing Montana, you just completely
disregard that skill.
He's a totally different style of quarterback than Montana is.
Absolutely.
Everyone thinks he just plugged in and went. I mean, he had a different style too. All right, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get this active guy. He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Because, well, I'm glad you gave me that hint though, because Josh Allen was going to be one of my next guesses, but he's not going to be here if our active guy's been around for a while.
Josh Allen is 12th on this list, believe it or not. So he's getting there. He's definitely in the conversation.
Man, do I want to do that 1 strike already? That's the question. I'll do it. Donovan McNabb. Is Donovan McNabb here?
Donovan McNabb, number 10. Didn't think you'd get him.
Wow.
Yeah, number 10. He is he was one of the two guys that I said you think of most of their career being
Post
post
2000.
2000. So
Yeah,
Donovan McNabb is here.
I feel like we talked about rushing quarterbacks before, and he was another guy that like I was like, really? Like I just you
Yeah,
don't think of him as
better
getting.
rusher than you would think,
Yeah, yeah.
and he's somewhat of an outlier for like the older guys, just in sheer games played.
Huh.
Like him and one other guy are like in the low 160s. I mean, Randall Cunningham is also in that category, but like far as like guys like Randall Cunningham, you think of as a runner, where Donovan McNabb again is probably more, and we'll call them improvisers for Madden terms for our sake, but like
Mm.
more of those improviser guys where you're like, oh yeah, I don't really see him having like 1,000 yards or 500
Yeah.
yards in a season. You know what I mean?
All right.
So we got 3 guys left here.
Yeah, and I'm playing confident right now. I'm not gonna lie to
Yeah.
you.
I think
With
you're overthinking the active guy for sure.
I'm overthinking the active
Yeah,
guy.
week 1 starter, old guy, definitely older for sure. He's younger than 40, but definitely on the later part of his career.
Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers is the active guy. Aaron Rodgers,
Really?
number 9 on this list. Another guy I was kind of surprised to see here, 3,466 yards.
Yeah, I'll credit those 10 points to the hints there.
So now you're down to the 2 hardest guys, and I have a hint for each if you want to burn your last hint, but you don't have you've only got 1 strike still. So
but do the style points of it make it better? Like that's the thing. Because logic says use the hint here and just try to clean sweep this board.
yeah, which would be impressive. I didn't think you'd clean sweep it, but you've done well. I debated
Yeah,
on only giving you 2 strikes, and I kind of am regretting giving you 3 here.
that's fair. I have a couple guys floating in my mind. And like one of them I feel like might be here, but I also kind of want to save him for a third strike Hail Mary. Man. Yeah, I'll take a hint on one of them. If you wanna,
I'm gonna give you 2 separate hints for each guy here.
Okay.
One of them is one of the few co-MVPs. So he was an MVP, but it wasn't a solo MVP. He won it with someone else.
Okay.
The other guy I would argue is the first running quarterback. When you talk about running quarterbacks, he's like in modern era football. I know there's another guy from like the 50s or 60s, not that guy, but this is like modern Super Bowl era quarterback when you think about running quarterbacks.
It's like 60s, 70s.
I think so. Yep.
I'm gonna guess him now because I always had his name pops up in my head because I just love this guy. Fran Tarkenton here.
Fran Tarkenton is that guy. An insane amount of games played. Didn't realize he'd have as many as he has. 246 games played.
Wow, that's a long career.
The highest guy on this list. Most games played on the top 10 list. And honestly, you can go all the way down to like the top 20. He's still the highest played guy.
Wow.
Or most games played for him. He is right behind Steve Young at 7. So you just have number 8 left.
I attribute that pick to Madden 13 back in the day. Old Fran Tarkenton running around.
Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, he's just a name that I love to bring up this conversation.
He played 70s, 60s, right? Was that? I was thinking that.
I think 60s, 70s. Yeah, I think
60s, 70s. Yeah, okay.
One guy left, 2 strikes to get him.
Yep.
This be another guy you're thinking 2000s of.
Yep. This is one of the guys that's post like he's kind of like McNabb. Yeah, like he's got a split in his career. The co-MVP should give it away if you remember our MVP conversation. We talked about co-MVPs and how kind of rare they were, and this guy was one of those guys.
Did he split it with another quarterback?
I can't tell you that. I can't. I'm giving you so much leash here on this.
I know you're not wrong, and I need to earn this.
You're clean sweeping it, but
oh man.
And the MVP was post 2000. I will give you that as well.
Post 2000.
Now you're making me nervous that I forgot this guy mixed up with somebody else, but I don't think I do.
Well, the thing is like I remember when we had that MVP conversation, I was like, I didn't know that there was somebody that split. Like I legitimately did not know that piece of information up until a couple weeks ago, which is rare for me to learn something, but it was there. But I also the issue is I get them confused because didn't somebody split co-rookie of the year one time too in the NFL?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's happened before, yeah.
That I feel like has happened more.
Man,
Oh, this guy played longer than I thought he did. God damn. 95 to 2007.
To 07.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident that he split that MVP.
95
He
to
was an
07.
MVP.
Multiple teams or one team?
He played for multiple teams. You think of him for one team though. Like it's not like he had a significant run with the second team. He was co-MVP the year he won it. Oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
What?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna save this for post, because it'll dead give away who it is. But it's also an interesting one.
Man, I'm just running through QBs.
Oh, you know what? I hang on. I might have lied to you on teams like who you think of them as. No, I didn't. That's a lie. I'm sticking to that. You mainly think of him as one team. He played for 3 teams total, but you definitely think of him as for one team.
As one team. I want to say Peyton Manning was the guy that split one with him, but I also feel like that's wrong. I know Peyton Manning's not here. He just simply did not run at all through his illustrious career. Tom Brady didn't run ever. Not mobile. The issue is like every other guy I'm thinking of, I'm like, I can't think of another guy that won an MVP. That's the tough part. Why couldn't Marcus Mariota just want to co-MVP?
Co-MVP in the early 2000s? Yeah, definitely was on the cards for that guy.
When he was in 8th grade. Come on, Marcus. Be better.
Throw. You got to give us a guess here. That's what I'm gonna request is a guest.
Fucking hell. Dude, I don't even know. I might have to see. I don't want to seed it. Tony Romo. Never won a fucking co-MVP.
Not Tony Romo. So there's strike 2.
Fucking hell.
I want you to clear this, so I'm gonna unfortunately he was murdered in 2009. He was co-MVP with Peyton Manning as the other hint.
Okay, so it was Manning. I think no. Is this Steve McNair?
It is Steve McNair. Yes.
He was it was floating in my head. And I was like, dude, there's no way that they would have split it between 2 guys in the same division. Like that's crazy. Because was that what he was in Tennessee?
He would have, but that would have in 2003. The Colts were AFC East still.
Oh shit! I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that would have been before the realignment. So I'm pretty sure Tennessee, because the Colts would have been AFC East at that point. Because the realignment, no, the realignment didn't happen until like 2008. No, maybe it was somewhere in there.
Late? I didn't think it was that late.
Whenever the Houston Texans came around, I said 3 teams. It actually wasn't 3 teams. It was 2 teams. Because it was the Houston Oilers, and then he was with the Houston Oilers when they switched to the Titans.
I see, okay.
So that threw me when I saw that, but yes, it was.
That's what threw me for the 3 teams because like I thought of him for a second. I was like, he only played for Baltimore and Tennessee though.
Yeah, he played in Houston. I forget the first 2 seasons. I always forget they switched in '97 to Tennessee. But yeah, Baltimore. I didn't realize he went 13-3 with Baltimore in the second.
Yeah, dude, he was. Aaron McNair was solid for us.
But yes, that is your guy that you were searching for here.
Thank you. I don't know if you didn't throw that he was murdered hint, I don't know if I would have gotten it, honestly.
I was trying to just give it to you. He was the first African American quarterback to win NFL MVP. I guess I never had pieced that together, but I thought that was a pretty cool fact.
Hell yeah.
So
was there only 3 then? 3 black quarterbacks to win MVP?
Right now there's only 4 all time.
Who's the 4th? Russ? Or not Russ.
Nope.
Cam, Lamar, McNair, and
Mahomes.
Duh.
Yeah, Mahomes.
Didn't go.
The most obvious one is the one that you're like,
yep.
Who?
Nope. Thought of a play style.
We still found a way to take up 15 minutes with trivia, and we cut half of it out. So
you're welcome.
Eat your little heart out.
I think it was worth it, for the sweep of the board.
You trivia nerds. Yeah, put you up to 220. That was a good board. I knew there was a good shot. You cleared it. I didn't want to. I thought like Elway was really, really close on that list. Like,
Oh,
I thought Elway was going to come cross your mind. He's a guy who's played
yeah.
a ton, and that's part of the reason why he was on there. So I thought Elway would creep in on you. I didn't think you'd get Rodgers and Wilson as easy as you got them. I
Yeah,
mean, you didn't have to use your hand for
you handed
Rodgers,
me
but
Rodgers and McNair, I think.
I was hoping you would jump on Josh Allen. It does get a little bit weird outside the top 12. 13 is Tobin Rote. 14 is Jim Harbaugh.
What?
Yeah, Jim
That's
Harbaugh is crazy.
nuts,
Greg
actually.
Landry, Bobby Douglas. Then you get like Dante Culpepper. Ryan
Uh,
Fitzpatrick's here just on time. Cordell Stewart with 99 games is on here. Alex
Cordell Stewart
Smith
was a Cordell Stewart was a freak.
is up there. So I was hoping some of the newer guys would creep into your mind and you would just guess them, but
If I didn't use that first hint early on where you said one active guy left and he was old, I would have. Josh Allen was my next guess.
yeah.
I used that hint at the right time. That saved my ass.
Yeah, I was just hoping you'd throw that out there, but yeah, it definitely it gets creepy. Like that top 10 got weird and I was like, it's one of those lists. There wasn't enough guys that you go, oh, maybe that I could see that guy doing it. Yeah, anyone who would have thought Tom Brady here, like Tom Brady was in like year 20 when he got his 1,000 yards, so
Yeah, it's true. Very good
he
point.
was not even he doesn't even broach this list. I don't even think it stretches out long enough because it took him so long because he didn't ever really run. So all right, let's jump into for a little fun here. We're gonna talk about the alternate throwback jerseys. We're
Oh,
gonna rank
yes.
them. We're gonna give our rankings here, 1 through 6. Is that right? 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Um, what's your number 6 jersey? Give us your 6.
6 out of these ones. This might be a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people.
We left one
I
off of this list actually.
Who do we forget? Who do we forget?
Cincinnati is not on this list.
Oh, they're old throwbacks.
Did they didn't wear theirs though, did they this
I
week?
don't think they did.
I don't think they did either. Okay.
So our list consists of Miami, Philly, Tennessee with the Houston Oilers, and then the Giants, Seattle, and Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
6 to me is Tampa Bay, unfortunately. I love the creamsicles, but I like a lot of the other ones on here. I think it's a good alternate. I think it's a clean alternate, but one that, like, I don't know. It's just a good old.
Yeah.
None of these are bad jerseys. Like, let's start
True.
with, like, these are all B plus, if not A minuses and up. These are all great jerseys, but somebody's got to take 6th place.
I'm gonna give it to Miami.
Really?
Yeah, I know a lot of people really raved about it, but to me, it's not different enough. Does that make
That's
sense?
fair. I can see that.
It's not like if they wore that jersey and they didn't say, "Hey, it's throwback week," you'd just be like, "Their jerseys looks a little different." Like,
yeah, and I think so. Here's my next question for you because I saw JJ Watt talking about this. Obviously, this is kind of where I got this idea from. This to me, I'm perfectly. If they want to just go back to this and make this the everyday jerseys, I'm perfect. I love the white helmet. Like, it's just a very
the dolphin's
clean,
different too, I guess, right? It's the old dolphin with the circle. I forgot about that.
Yeah, like I love those. I think they're super clean. They got the block stripes on the sleeves. Like
this, I like this jersey. It's just not different enough for me. Like that's my only beef with it.
Again, if you're like just wear it every single time, I'm okay with that being the critique of it because it's good enough to be an everyday jersey.
And there's certain jerseys that I think are good enough that like I wouldn't mind. Like I don't think Tampa Bay should go back to the creamsicles. I really don't.
Nah.
Like I think it's a fun alternate. It's like the powder blues for the Chargers. Like I always thought that the Chargers should just make that their home. Like it's just such a better jersey.
There's some alternates that just precede what you're currently wearing.
But I'm also a weird jersey nerd when it comes to jerseys. I know you know this about me. Like I'm addicted. Like my favorite Patriots jersey is the 90s Patriots.
Yeah.
Like I loved that like bright blue with the big Patriot logo on the shoulder.
On the shoulders.
All time. I love the Reds. That helmet right there is goated. I love that logo, but I just don't love it as much as I love the blue, like the 90s blue.
Strapped up.
Yeah, strapped up. Drew Bledsoe's throwing the ball. Pete Carroll's on the sideline smacking gum for us.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Parcells was the coach. You know, I just love those jerseys in particular, but I still think those are great. But no, I think Miami could wear them full time. I would have no beef with that.
Yeah.
All right. What is number 5 for you?
I think I have Miami at 5. I was going to put somebody else here, but I think Miami falls at 5. Like I said, a great jersey. I love them, but something can be said about it being such a good alternate jersey that you should just wear it every day. Like, I
Yeah.
think that just speaks to what your current jersey is. But
And I have Tampa Bay at my 6. Like, I think
flippity
we're
flop.
or 5 at my 5. Sorry. Yeah, I think we're just flop there. Um, I like the creamsicles. I think they're fun. I think they're different. To me, it's one of the more unique alternates in the league.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
almost as unique as like the Steelers when they wear the striped with the block lettering.
The old bumblebees.
It just you're like, oh, like that is nothing like the team now.
Completely
Like,
different.
yeah, I mean, like this one, even the colors are different. Whereas at least in the Steelers one, at least it's still the Steelers colors. But
Yeah.
I think it's dramatically different. But yeah, it's not my cup of tea
All
personally. But
right.
I see it.
4 spot. I've got the Tennessee Titans wearing the Houston Oilers at my 4 spot. All right. Now
Whoa.
listen, I love
Wow.
this jersey, but I do somewhat agree with like,
It should be Houston. It should be the Texans
yeah,
jersey.
like the team's history is they went from the Houston Oilers to the Tennessee Titans, right? They do own that part of the team history, but like it's one thing to wear what feels like another team's alternate jersey. It feels like a division rival's alternate jersey that's just thrown on, right? Like, because you don't say Tennessee Oilers aren't a thing, right? So
Yeah.
not only am I referring to you as a different name, I'm throwing you to a city that's a division rival, and I'm wearing a Houston Oilers throwback as a Tennessee. I don't know. That's the only part that I really don't like. Far as a jersey standpoint, this could be number one. It is clean, the white, the powder blue. I think what we're
Yeah.
learning is just powder blue is a really good jersey color. I
It
mean,
is. It's gas.
the Chargers wear it well. They wear it well. Some of the Panthers, honestly, on a lot of occasions. Back when Cam, the white pants, got that blue top, silver helmet.
Yeah.
Like it's a good jersey.
I can't believe that is asinine that you put it at 4.
It's
From
just the history
Yeah, I could see that. I'm gonna view these just solely as jerseys and
as
take the
jerseys.
history
I can
out of it.
respect that. I can respect that.
I'm gonna have Seattle here. I like this. A lot of people were saying they should wear this regularly. I don't think it's
I
that good, that
I
that level
I'm
of
okay
good,
with it.
but I like it. I'm okay with this jersey. It
Yeah.
doesn't like it doesn't make me go, ooh, yeah, that looks good. That's clean.
Seattle, yeah, Seattle's would be at my 3 spot probably here. Like this, I'm one of those crowd where I'm like, I would love to see that every day. The thing
Yeah,
that you'd also have to change the identity back, right? The logo has to go back. Like
yeah. There's a
all these
lot
things have to
to it.
happen. But like, it's perfectly okay with like, hey, we have 8 home games. We're wearing these for 4 of them.
I
Thumbs up
don't
with me.
I don't
Like,
like the logo. I like the newer logo better.
really
And I do also like the lime green with their darker color. So like to kind of lose that lime green in this like
fair.
doesn't feel as fun to me. Like that's why I have this one like kind of low. I mean if they decided to go back to it, I wouldn't be upset. It's just not one that I would
Yeah.
necessarily like be like, "Oh yeah, you have to go back to this."
I love on the
Um
old silver helmets how like the logo connects into the back too. So like
yeah.
it spreads back here into the back. I don't know. I've always liked that
It's a
part.
little odd. It's definitely 90s themed, and I like 90s themed stuff, but just
Yeah,
not my cup of tea. So that's your 3.
that's my 3 there.
Um, my 3 is the Giants. I think the Giants, like this is again, we talked about teams that should go back to it. I think the
Wear
Giants
it.
should go back to this.
Yeah.
I think it's the darker blue looks sharper, and with it being darker, the red pops a little bit better. And like their jerseys now are just kind of like blue and white. Like it's
Yeah.
just a little plain Jane. And
Meh.
I feel like this just has a little bit more flair.
Yeah, the script
Um,
logo on the helmet I think is better
yeah.
than the NY symbol. Like you have to stand out. This is New York. Everybody
Yeah.
uses those 2 letters as look at the Knicks, look at the Yankees. Like everybody uses these 2 letters. Like
Did you just leave off the Mets off that
the
list?
Mets, you know what I'm saying? Like I said,
Dang.
everybody. The fucking
Everybody.
Jets. Like I don't know, the Jets don't use the NY as much, but you got to stand out a bit.
Yeah,
You know, I think that
at
fair.
the center field, it's
Prove
the
my point.
NY and the green in a big circle.
Just put Giants on the side of the helmet. Like
Maybe it's not. Now you got me questioning
yeah.
what's at the
I don't know.
Giants center
I don't know
field.
what it looks like on MetLife during a Jets home game. Unfortunately,
I've been, believe it or not.
fair. That's a fair point.
So yeah, don't be jealous of me. I saw Sam Darnold as the Jets QB, and
Seen
oh no,
ghosts.
and I saw Aaron Rodgers play as the Packers QB.
How
Oh,
about it?
it is the NFL logo. It's not the New York logo in the middle. I don't know
Still,
why I thought that.
point stands. Everybody uses the NY. Go back to the blue script Giants. I 100% agree with you. The navy blue, like the darker blue jersey, put some
Yeah.
red sleeves on there. Man, That's
I
a
think I think
sick.
it's sharp.
It pops very much so. Yes, that's my 2 spot, which
That's your
means we're
two is
gonna
defense.
probably maybe have the same one. We'll see.
My two is actually gonna be the Kelly Greens for the Eagles.
Okay,
I love this jersey for a lot of reasons. I don't think it should be there full time. Like I'm not gonna sit here and argue for that. I do think it's crazy that they haven't worn it as long as they have. Like this
I
definitely
agree.
should be in their rotation. It's a fun jersey for sure. Um, and it is again, it's one of those ones that it's like it's a different look than their current. Like it's such a brighter green. It feels like a really good alternate to like switch out of and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
again, if I want to wear this 2, 3, 4 times a year for my 8
Yeah.
home games, I'm okay with it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'm not mad at this. So I've got the Kelly Green at my 2, um, which I'm kind of shocked that you have it as your 1, but
these my 1 spot. I do love those Kelly Greens, man. I get caught up in it. I also think I devalue Houston a little bit too much along the way, but
yeah, that jersey is like the cleanest ones, like
yeah,
by far and
the
away.
helmet sells it too. That
The
beautiful
helmet's
white
so
helmet.
the look like honestly, if I'm the Texans, like I'm asking Tennessee, like, what do you guys want so we could just have this be our logo and our uniform again? Like,
Yeah,
what do we have to pay to like get this back? And I will say it is crazy that they took it with them. Like we can dive into this because it's not like Baltimore wears like Cleveland Brown throwback
Browns
jerseys.
throwbacks. That's a very good point.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like it's
other same
nuts to
situation.
me. Like it's exactly the same situation. So it is a little crazy to me that they're like, we're actually taking this with us. Like we are
Yeah,
going to wear this. I can't think of any other team that's done that like this besides them. Is there
no,
another
I
team
don't
I'm
think
thinking
there's
about?
another team that wears a throwback jersey to another city
Yeah.
at all. That's except for them.
So it's super weird to me. And it's not like the time frame is way different there either. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Tennessee moved in what, 97, 96, and then like Houston didn't come back till like 10 years later.
yeah, something
Like
like that.
how long before the Browns came back? It was only a couple years,
It
right?
wasn't even that. Yeah, I think it was 2 years at most.
2
Like
years when they
it
didn't
was
have a
very
football
quick.
team there.
Like yeah, because the story is like they were like 8-2, and
Yeah.
Art Modell in the middle of the season at 8-2 was like, yeah, we're moving the team. We don't have any money. We're
Well, and then they
gone.
sucked that year. They made
Yeah,
the
then they
playoffs the year before, won a playoff game, and then they were like on a hot streak. And
yeah
I
he
remember
tanked
this.
it. The season fell off the end. Everybody was pissed. They
Do you know who
left
the head
for
coach was?
it was Bill Belichick, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Bill Belichick is the last head coach in Cleveland Brown history to win a playoff game.
The fact that that's still true is
I
just depressing.
No, they never won one with Baker. So yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Oh, did
Well,
they?
didn't they beat Pittsburgh in the first round?
They did. You're right. You're right. So yeah,
Okay.
I think
Kevin
that reset
Stefanski.
it. Kevin Stefanski, but before that, it was Bill Belichick.
It
So
was Baker Mayfield too. Look where that guy's at. Not
and then
in
when they
Cleveland.
moved, they fired Belichick, and then whoever his GM at the time was, and then Ozzie took over.
What a butterfly effect. Art Modell's like, we're gonna keep Belichick. Actually, I just
I don't know
Belichick's in
if
Baltimore drafts Ray Lewis and Jonathan Ogden in year one. Can you imagine Ray Lewis in a fucking Bill Belichick defense? You kidding me?
that would have been insane.
I'm terrified.
Like those 2000s that
Ugh.
2000s Ravens defense would have lasted a hell of a lot longer. Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't have gone. I mean, I don't know. But then do they take
Do
Brady?
the personalities work? That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Like there were some big personalities on that defense that rotated in. Deion Sanders made a stop in there.
But you say that. Okay, here's the thing I'll say. Belichick's never had an issue with big personalities who match it. Like he let
Who
Gronk be
play?
Gronk. He
Yeah.
let Randy be
As
Randy.
long
Like
as you're gonna produce.
yeah,
And they
like
always did. We didn't have a guy that didn't
he
produce.
wouldn't have tolerated like a Baker Mayfield like have an attitude before he's done anything, but like
Yeah.
if you're Ray Lewis and you go out and win him a Super Bowl, like I don't think he's gonna have an issue with you having a walkout dance and all of that. Like I don't
That's
think
fair.
that bothers him. So
Yeah. That's a crazy what if theory right there. But
that's a really interesting one. But yeah, Tennessee is by far and away. But it is strange to me that they took it because like you think of all time Cleveland Browns, you think of Jim Brown, you think of people who technically would be like under the Ravens, but the Ravens didn't take the history with them. They kind of
yeah,
restarted it.
yeah, and that was the thing was like they moved to Baltimore and the NFL was like, all right, we're just gonna treat them as a new franchise. You guys are gonna keep the history in Cleveland, restart your team.
Yeah.
It's also probably the only time where a team has left a city and that team technically still landed back in the city and long way around, you know, like
Yeah.
The Browns didn't really fully leave. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm trying to think who was the other Jacksonville, but Jacksonville didn't have a team prior to that and that expansion. My chair is extremely squeaky today. Well, cool. All right. There's our throwback jersey talk through. Any other cool throwback jerseys we didn't bring up? We brought the Patriots, Reds, the Steelers.
I wish Baltimore had a good throwback, but only been around since '96. You could bring back the shield with the wings on it, but that's probably about it.
Trying to think if there's like 49ers jerseys just look the same.
I love their 90s throwbacks. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Like the ones that they wear all the time now, just the red, the super block lettering, like Jerry Rice jerseys.
Yeah.
Super simple, super clean. I love them. Red and white. I think both are great. The Denver Broncos jerseys, the old the Elway throwbacks. I do like the Elway throwbacks.
I think Cincinnati's throwback. Like I don't think Cincinnati's worn their throwbacks in a while, but I think they should. Because I think
talk about the boomer ones.
Yeah, the boomer ones. I think those are cool.
Yeah, I like their ice white.
I was about to say it's not as good as the ice white is the problem. You'd have to do like some kind of combo there. Because that ice white is great. I will say the Raiders have the best jersey in the NFL for how much that team sucks. Just the black and the silver is just it looks so good, and it's never changed.
Some of the best pairings I think that you get in NFL history is when the jersey color is the same as the pants, and then you have a different, like again, Houston white, blue, white. Yeah. I love Baltimore when they go black, purple, black. Like that combo has always been very good to me. Like I like those, so I really liked when Carolina did the silver. When they did silver, black, silver, I was like, this is even something else.
With the blue accents and stuff.
Yeah, the blue accents on them. Like, you can get real freaky with it, but that's like my go-to simple combo.
The AFC East is just riddled with great jerseys, because I will say the old Buffalo ones, like the old, like
with just the standing.
Yeah, like, with like just the simple buffalo on it, with like the white with the red buffalo.
Red buffalo, red face mask.
Yeah, like I think those were clean. Not even like Thurman Thomas, like OJ Simpson.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. OJ Simpson Bills.
I didn't want to say OJ Simpson Bills, but that's the only player I can think of from that timeline. But like those jerseys, I think are clean too. Like that's a legit good jersey.
I would agree.
All right,
I'll give a kick shot. I do love, like, I don't think the throwbacks, but like Dallas's alternate they wear a lot of the times, like the blue with the white shoulders and they go white helmet. Very underrated as well.
Okay, now that we're having this conversation, we might as well keep it going. Is there an alternate that you hate? Because there's one that immediately comes to my mind that is like my least favorite jersey of all time.
First one that comes to mind is anytime Green Bay puts on like those. Is it Green Bay? Or is it they have like the brown ones, like the brown and yellow? I'm not a fan of that.
That is Green Bay, I think. Yeah,
those ones, or maybe it's the Jets even that has like, you know what I'm talking, the real ugly.
Yeah, I think it's Green Bay.
The Steelers Bumblebees are definitely up there as well for me. I'm not a fan of those.
Really?
Yeah, no. I think to be honest, when sitting here thinking about it more, because remember, Coach Cowher talked about it when they were doing the walkouts and everything, and like the mantra was like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and it made sense when they were really wearing those. It was Big Ben, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell. I mean, those were the killer bees. Like it fit with that team, but that team's no longer around.
They wore the blue and the yellow as the Green Bay throwback, with like the yellow stripe across and then the blue underneath.
What's the ones you're thinking of?
You mean you're thinking of?
No. What's the first one that comes to your head? Remember you said you had one.
Oh, the first one that comes to my head, that is so easy, is the terrible, like in the mid 2000s, the Patriots wore a silver alternate jersey. And I'm not kidding you. It was so hard to tell when they wore it because it was like this light silver. So it almost looked white, but it was our alternate. So we wore like the navy blues, the whites, and then the silvers. And it was like one of the worst because it was silver with the blue pants. So you have a silver helmet, a silver jersey, and then blue pants. It was terrible.
If your pants cannot be the single color on your thing. Like when Baltimore, like people want to bring him back. There's been a small stirring on Ravens Twitter. They want the mustard colored pants back. Keep them far away from me. I don't want them. If your pants are like the pop of color, it's going to look bad. I can almost promise you that. Think of every good alternate jersey everywhere. What pops? Either the jersey or the helmet does, you know? So, I I just had a helmet pop into my head that I really liked.
Can't figure out the brown one that you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe it was Chicago. I don't know. The Eagles do have some really old ones that are like, remember that baby blue and yellow? They barely ever wore them.
Here we go.
I'm trying to think who's the fourth team. Giants don't have any bad ones. Oh, worst helmet ever, possibly the Jacksonville two-tone gradient helmet, the black and gold.
Oh yeah, that one was garbage.
Hate it. Oh, not a throwback because they don't wear them. I think the old Jacksonville jerseys, the old original teal, the black helmet and the simple jag on the side.
The teal is cool.
You could bring that back as an alternate, and I would be a fan, truthfully.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't say who I thought we wore this against, because I thought they wore it against Miami this year. But this is from the 2006 Patriots book that I have sitting next to me.
The old silver.
We're going to do live action of what this jersey looked like. I'm going to try to do my best of showing you guys while I can still see the camera.
Yeah.
But it's so hard.
You have silver jerseys on that?
Yeah, silver. That's silver jerseys with the blue pants and silver helmets. Like, see how, like, what I'm talking about? Like, how hard it's to tell that it's actually. Oh God, I may have just ruined the focus on the camera. It's over.
It'll come back.
It'll come back eventually. It always does. Okay, there it goes. Nice. Yeah, terrible jersey. All right, let's talk about some of these people I actually want to talk about. That's like happening right now.
Hell yeah, brother.
Let's talk about some trade recaps here. We're going to cover the major ones. I think we talked a little bit about Kevin Byron going to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Didn't want to touch on that. We're not going to touch on some of the less significant moves.
Donovan Peoples-Jones. That's a league changer. Okay.
Yeah. Like that's like, it's so like Cleveland is just like trading all of like, they have like, they said, okay, we have Amari Cooper, who's our one. And then we have about 15 wide receiver fours on our roster. We're willing to trade any of them.
Give me a seventh.
Elijah Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Oh no, they traded for Elijah Moore, right?
Yeah, they traded for him. Yeah.
Who else did they trade away this year? Didn't they trade away another wide receiver this year that I'm blanking on?
Possibly.
I don't know. They're weird. Like the way that they manage wide receivers has always been super, super odd.